Right now, with COVID surging across the nation, churches are the latest to readapt to former COVID protocols. How congregations in our region are taking safety measures.
And our cold saga returns. We'll have a look at what to expect coming up.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday, and thanks for joining us on News 3 Now. I'm McKenna Alexander. Let's go ahead and take a look outside this morning. Julian, what's it looking like for the day ahead?
Well, at least it doesn't look as cold as it's definitely going to feel throughout the course of the day. This is a quick look at just how cold things have been for us. Even though yesterday was a bit more milder, we are looking for today to be very frigid, well below the average. Around 27 degrees is our seasonable temperature, but we are looking for a forecast of around 7 degrees as we're going in throughout much of today. When that's heading into our Monday, folks. That's not even just for our Sunday. Our Sunday, we're looking for temperatures to stick around into those teens. But one other thing we have to talk about is that we do have an alert day in effect until Monday night through Tuesday morning. This is because our low temperatures are going to be so below zero. And on top of it, we are going to be looking at those wind chill values to be even more so bitter throughout those hours. Now, as we take a look, this is what we're going to be seeing heading into the overnight hours, transitioning into our early Tuesday morning. That's right. We're looking at teens below zero heading into our Tuesday. And it's going to be seeing some slight improvement throughout the course of the week. But still, we're going to be looking at some pretty cold temperatures that are going to be onto the bitter side. However, aside from that, the three things we're going to need to know is we are looking for some flurries for tonight to be a possibility. Some drier weather is in store for us for next week, but really we got to talk about the cold to start off next week as well, because that's what we're really going to be keeping our eye on. We'll have much more of this coming up in a few moments. Till then, back to you, McKenna.
All right, thanks, Julian. Officials from the Wisconsin Council of Churches say almost 90% of the state's churches are already heavily encouraging mask wearing and practicing some form of physical distancing. But as Tahila Muladeen explains, now they want their 2 million members to consider taking COVID safety a step further.
He who comes in the name of the Lord, Hosanna in the highest.
Leaders from the Wisconsin Council of Churches are speaking up.
We decided that it was really time.
After seeing the pressure the Omicron variant put on the healthcare system.
The case rate for COVID just going up.
Reverend Daniel Schultz says they're asking the 2,000 churches they advise to take a step back.
Until the Omicron wave has had a chance to pass.
To a place they've been before.
We give you praise, Father, most holy, for you are great, and you have
fully physically distanced forms of ministry, virtual church from home for 4 to 6 weeks.
Churches have developed those skills, and they can implement them again. And it's not as open-ended as it was the first time.
The Diocese of Madison encouraging parishioners to take reasonable precautions. In a statement to News 3, they shared recommendations, including the strong encouragement of at-risk persons and their caregivers to stay at home, and the continuation of the live streaming of masses for such at-risk persons. Schultz says he understands there may be pushback.
We hear a lot from lay people. Well, the Packers are playing in person. The Bucks are playing in person.
But says it's a chance for worshipers to act on their values.
Christians talk about loving and caring for their neighbors, protecting the vulnerable. And so this is a really great opportunity
to get through the latest surge and find a way back to normal.
Council officials say their advice has been well received for the most part, with some churches going fully online as early as this morning. They expect more to follow suit next week. Looking at more coronavirus now, there's a growing concern for our nation's children as the Omicron variant drives more Americans to the hospital. Federal data shows a record level of COVID hospitalizations among children, averaging nearly 800 new hospital admissions a day. That's the highest it's ever been, and it's an 80% increase in just a week. States across the country now racing to help hospitals facing staffing shortages as more frontline workers call out sick or under quarantine due to COVID exposure. And with child hospitalizations hitting new records, concern over student safety remains sky high. CNN's Apollo Sandoval has more on how disputes over in-person learning are playing out in various school districts.
It's been a week of clashes, confrontations, and a lot of angst over schools reopening. Chicago, the largest school district in the nation with classes in limbo. That's because of a standoff between the teachers union and Chicago Public Schools. The union insisting on virtual learning, while the mayor is pushing for schools to stay open.
I think we've made significant progress over the last 2 days, but I want a deal done this weekend. Our kids need to be back in school. Schools are safe.
In Georgia, public school teachers who test positive for COVID-19 but remain asymptomatic no longer have to isolate before returning to school if masked, and contact tracing in schools no longer required. That's according to a letter to school leaders released Thursday from Governor Brian Kemp and Public Health Commissioner Kathleen Toomey. And in New York, nearly 13% of New York City students have tested positive for COVID-19. That's according to sample testing from the New York City Department of Education on Thursday. Health experts say the U.S. needs to change its COVID-19 strategy to face a new normal.
The new normal is the way we live with flu. We're going to live with the coronavirus. It's going to be around. People are going to get infected, but hopefully few people will be hospitalized and even fewer people will die from it. And we'll be able to go about our lives as we did before.
The FDA has now amended the emergency use authorization for Moderna's COVID-19 vaccine, shortening the period of time between initial vaccination and the booster shot to at least 5 months for those over the age of 18. Meanwhile, experts say vaccines need to evolve.
What we need is, first of all, improve on our vaccines, and you're going to see a lot of work being done to try to get us what we call the next generation vaccines. Over the course of the next weeks to months is a much more wide-scale availability of these very effective drugs, if given early in the illness, can actually greatly reduce the likelihood of severe disease, hospitalizations, and deaths. But so if you combine vaccines and drugs together, I think we really can put a big dent in this virus, not just in high-income countries, but around the world.
Nearly 2/3 of the eligible U.S. population now fully vaccinated against COVID-19, according to the CDC. A top health expert said in order to get to a place where the coronavirus is endemic like the flu, the U.S. has a lot to do.
We have to get to a situation where what we're seeing from coronavirus is not big surges. We need many more people vaccinated in this case. We need additional therapies, not just the couple of oral therapies we currently have. We need to upgrade our air filtration system. We got to get the prevalence down, and then we'll be able to get to a new normal.
Locally, today is the last day to get a COVID test from the Madison School District. The DHS gave them 15,000 tests, but they expire tomorrow. You can find a list of testing sites and pre-registration information. Just head to channel3000.com. Still ahead, after the Marshall Fire in Colorado, one remarkable piece of history was found once again. And you're taking a live look over the Capitol. Julian's tracking your forecast just ahead.
Save delivery is always fresh because we check our produce at every stop on its journey to you. We're fresh every day, so shop any way. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
If your credit card debt is out of control, if you're in over your head in monthly payments, there's a secret the credit card companies don't want you to know. If you have more than $10,000 in credit card debt, you have the right to let us settle that debt for a fraction of what you owe. That's bad news for the credit card companies, but it's great news for you. We're Credit Associates, and we're offering you free information on how to completely resolve your credit card debt with a monthly payment you can afford. To see how much you could save, call now. 1-800-914-6947. Don't declare bankruptcy. Don't consolidate. Give us 10 minutes and we could save you thousands. After all, we depend on your success and offer a guarantee so there's no risk to call. Credit Associates. Live better, debt-free. We'll even show you how to use your stimulus money to jumpstart our services and get you debt-free faster than you ever thought possible. Call Credit Associates now to see how much you could save for free. Call 1-800-914-6947.
We can't help what you do before you go to bed, but we can make sure the sleep is solid once you finally get there. And during the extended New Year's super sale at Denver Mattress, the more you buy, the more you save. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. Or purchase a Tempur-Pedic and get a $300 gift. Check out the Summit Firm for only $249.99, plus 5 years no interest and free shipping. Here's to 365 nights of better sleep. Happy New Year from Denver Mattress.
Living with metastatic breast cancer means being relentless.
Because every day matters, and having more of them is possible with Verzenio, the only one of its kind proven to help you live significantly longer when taken with fulvestrant, regardless of menopause.
Verzenio plus fulvestrant is for HR-positive, HER2-negative metastatic breast cancer that has progressed after hormone therapy. Diarrhea is common, may be severe, or cause dehydration or infection. At the first sign, call your doctor, start an antidiarrheal, and drink fluids. Before taking Verzenio, tell your doctor about any fever, chills, or other signs of infection. Verzenio may cause low white blood cell counts, which may cause serious infection that can lead to death. Life-threatening lung inflammation can occur. Tell your doctor about any new or worsening trouble breathing, cough, or chest pain. Serious liver problems can happen. Symptoms include fatigue, appetite loss, stomach pain, and bleeding or bruising. Blood clots that can lead to death have occurred. Tell your doctor if you have pain or swelling in your arms or legs, shortness of breath, chest pain, and rapid breathing or heart rate, or if you are nursing, pregnant, or plan to be.
Every day matters.
And I want more of them.
Ask your doctor about everyday Verzenio.
At Pick and Save, you can get personalized coupons on top of weekly sales for prices that are lower than low on food that's fresher than fresh. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
Well, the story here is that it is going to be cold, even though it is winter. The kind of cold that we're going to be experiencing is just a little bit too close for comfort for us. As we're waking up this morning, looking at a beautiful sunrise as the clouds are starting to dissipate for us. But it's 16 degrees right now here in Madison. So those temperatures that we saw just for our overnight low are starting to drop even more so. Northwestern winds at 12 miles per hour. We are definitely looking at chilly conditions as the wind chill is in the single digits here in Madison. Now, as we take a look at the wind speeds along southern Wisconsin, we're still holding on into the teens with 18 miles per hour winds in Janesville, 16 miles per hour winds into Platteville as of right now. But temperatures, as you can see, is kind of like the divide. It really gives a great representation of that cold front that is sweeping through the upper Midwest and through southern Wisconsin as of right now, because behind the cold front, that's where the temperatures are into the single digits, and that's where, as it continues to move southeast, why those temperatures are starting to drop from those lower 20s into those upper teens, and which is also bringing in the wind chills, as we see well below zero into the west, and we are on our way here from Madison onward into the eastern side of southern Wisconsin. So as we're going to be planning out the rest of this morning in terms of our wind chills, just know as we approach the noon hour, those winds are still going to be on the breezier side, and temperatures are going to struggle to get out of the single digits and even into the lower teens. So wind chill values are still going to be well below zero throughout the course of the day. So just make sure that you are staying bundled up and warm throughout the rest of our Sunday. Now, planning out the day, as I had mentioned, sunshine is going to dominate, but it's not going to really be helping in terms of increasing our surface temperature, as we're going to be holding into those single digits and those lower teens for us. But the one good thing is that we're not really going to be looking at any kind of precipitation, so nothing's going to be obstructing us in terms of driving around through today. So no real slick spots or even it's going to be seeing any kind of snow. But this is what we're looking at our surface map. This is the cold front that is moving in from the upper Midwest that is leaving behind those colder temperatures and even some breezy conditions for us. But I know the question here is, how much longer are we going to be dealing with this bitter cold? Well, definitely throughout Sunday, with all the sunshine, those breezy conditions, temperatures still into the low teens and single digits. But as we go into our Monday, we're also going to be looking at cold start to our commutes for Monday morning. So just know, single digits once again, and with those winds not as breezy as it would be for Sunday, but we're still going to be looking at wind chill values below zero heading into our Monday as well, which is why we have an alert day in effect from Monday night into our Tuesday morning, because of those winds and the low temperatures that we are going to be dealing with. Because as we can see throughout our Monday morning going into, or Monday nights going into our Tuesday, the wind chill values are going to be into double digit below zero as we transition into the start of our new work week. Now, as we take a look at our 10-day forecast, again, that's why we have the alert day in effect for Tuesday morning. But then afterwards, we are going to be looking at improvements as the 30s will be returning to give us pleasantries. That's right. It's kind of weird to say the 30s will be pleasant, but after this long stretch of cold temperatures, it's definitely going to be welcomed here, McKenna.
We will take what we can get and find positives where they are, I guess. Thanks, Julian. The latest on the Marshall Fire. So many families who lost homes left in panic, grabbing the essentials and getting out fast with some precious family heirlooms left behind. One family thought a piece of their history was lost. Louis DeLeon shows us how it came back to them.
So we do have weepy times. We came by a couple of days ago and we just wept a little bit.
Even in the face of destruction.
At the end of the day, you know, we have each other.
At times, we find ourselves hanging on.
Just really fond memories of all the kids that would come over after school.
Hanging on to memories.
Yeah, and what's kind of sad is you can see the upstairs bathroom with a towel hanging on the door and the shower curtain.
Like many, Ann and Rick Dixon's home in Superior was badly damaged by the Marshall Fire. Irreparable, they say.
We don't have a choice but to embrace this as a new start.
Not much hope for the physical memories to be spared.
Let's turn it around. This is the back of it.
Or,
yep.
So they thought.
Still has the key.
When they finally got the chance to go back to their home, firefighters with Loveland Fire Rescue Authority were in their neighborhood helping put out the smoldering debris.
We went down and asked them.
Asked to see if they had a moment to check the upstairs bedroom for a special heirloom.
One of them put his hand over his heart and said, I'm honored to do this for you.
What they pulled out was the World War II trunk that belonged to Ann's father.
Oh my gosh, I had tears in my eyes. Here it says Lieutenant William C. Popovich. Yeah, you can see it's taken a lot of retardant or fire and ash.
In that trunk were stories of a man who served his country.
He was a bombardier. He was shot down in May 1944. He was shot down over Gießen, Germany, and remained a POW until the war ended.
One of those memories that's simply irreplaceable.
So my dad had given me the handwritten journal. Probably the last time, one of the last times I had seen him.
History she hopes to pass on.
Stories like this, preserving history, especially for my personal family.
Memories to keep them going, thanks to the first responders.
Coming up, a historic deployment is underway. Details when we come back on News 3 Now this morning.
Every day, News 3 Now investigates.
You've heard that an apple a day keeps the doctor away, but you still need to see your dentist because getting good dental care is important to your overall health. You know dental bills can take a big bite out of your budget, especially if you're retired or on Medicare. Even a simple cleaning can cost $200. And other procedures like crowns and root canals can cost hundreds, even thousands more. But affordable dental insurance from Physicians Mutual Insurance Company can help. Give us a call or go online for this free information kit with all the details. This isn't just a discount plan. This is real dental insurance that can help pay for over 350 covered procedures like cleanings, fillings, crowns, even dentures. There are no deductibles, no annual maximum, and you can see any dentist you like. So don't wait. Call now or go online for your free information kit from Physicians Mutual.
Physicians Mutual, Physicians Mutual.
Reynolds Wrap makes this whole cooking and cleanup thing so easy. Speeds up this so I can get to them.
Easy prep, cook and clean with Reynolds Wrap.
Had enough? No. Arthritis. Here. Aspercream arthritis. Huh. Full prescription strength. Reduces inflammation. Thank the gods. Don't thank them too soon.
Kick pain in the Aspercream.
It's easier than ever to get quality health insurance plans on healthcare.gov. Thanks to COVID relief, now 4 out of 5 people can get a plan for $10 or less, including checkups, cancer screenings, and more. I'm Nick, a health insurance expert at a nonprofit in Wisconsin. There are people like me in your area who provide free help to sign up and get the best deals for you. If you couldn't afford a plan before, it's time to look again. Act now to get these new prices. Call 211 to find an expert near you or visit WISCcover.com.
Weather can be weathered with technology there to help you in a Ford Escape. Winter roads can be tough. Bronco Sport, tougher. And Explorer can take the bite out of chilly mornings. Ford, winter like you mean it. Hurry in to get a great offer on a weather-ready Ford SUV. Visit your Wisconsin and UP Ford dealers today.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Well, if you're just joining us, we're keeping an eye on our temperatures around southern Wisconsin because we can see that divider of where that cold front is sweeping through southern Wisconsin, because behind to the western side of Dane County is where we're seeing those single digits and where that cold air is being left behind from that cold front as it's continuing to push its way into a southeastern track. Wind speeds as well are breezy this morning, which is bringing our wind chills into below zero and single digits throughout much of Wisconsin as we are going in throughout the rest of the day. So make sure that you are going to be bundling up. The good news is we're not looking for any issues in terms of any precipitation that will be falling that could disrupt any kind of road conditions. However, there are still some slick spots because of the ice from the leftover freezing drizzle of yesterday. An alert day is still in effect for Monday nights and Tuesday morning. Just know the cold is not going away until we get into our Tuesday afternoon. Over to you, McKenna.
All right, thanks, Julian. Right now, the USS Abraham Lincoln leads a strike group on its way to the Western Pacific. The deployment is also historic. CBS News national security correspondent David Martin explains why.
It's always a majestic sight when an aircraft carrier sets out to sea. But when the USS Abraham Lincoln left San Diego this week, it was also an historic sight. For the first time ever, a U.S. nuclear-powered aircraft carrier was commanded by a woman, Captain Amy Bauernschmidt.
We have a ship of 4,000 sailors right now. Average age is about 21.8 years old. I want to get up each day and make sure that they have all of the training and the resources that they need.
Captain, United States Navy, arriving.
She took command last August and is now bound for the Western Pacific at a time of rising tensions with China. It's a breakthrough for women in the military, a moment Bauernschmidt has been preparing for since she graduated from the Naval Academy in 1994, the year Congress repealed the law barring women from combat.
That law absolutely changed my life. We were the first class that graduated knowing and feeling honored with the privilege to be able to go serve along the rest of our comrades in combat.
Bauernschmidt spoke with Jan Crawford of CBS News 4 years ago when she was serving as executive officer on the Lincoln, also a first. She rose through the ranks as a helicopter pilot and now will command a ship that carries the Navy's most sophisticated jet fighters.
There's a lot that goes into getting to this point in my career. I've spent about 27 and a half years in the Navy. A lot of hard work has gone into it.
In addition to the endless duties of running a warship 3 times longer than a football field, she will also serve as a role model for women under her command. It happened on her previous tour aboard the Lincoln when Jordan Gould asked Bauernschmidt to perform the honors at her re-enlistment.
I think it was because I can see a little bit of myself. It's okay to be assertive. It's okay to be in control. Sorry.
With each of those jobs, I've also been able to lead sailors, watch them grow, typically better, faster, and farther than I grew. And being able to lead them in all these different environments has been the greatest honor of my career.
There are women in the Navy who outrank Bauernschmidt, but none who have ever held such a high-profile job as commanding officer of one of the most prominent symbols of American military power. David Martin, CBS News, The Pentagon.
There's a half hour of news still ahead here on News 3 this morning, Sunday. Next, we're running through the morning's top stories. Stick with us.
Monona Plumbing and Fire Protection serves all of Dane County and the surrounding communities. And with our new location in Monroe, we also proudly serve all of Greene County.
Monona Plumbing and Fire Protection, a name you can trust when service is a must.
Living with metastatic breast cancer means being relentless.
Because every day matters, and having more of them is possible with Verzenio, the only one of its kind proven to help you live significantly longer when taken with fulvestrant, regardless of menopause.
Verzenio plus fulvestrant is for HR-positive, HER2-negative metastatic breast cancer that has progressed after hormone therapy. Diarrhea is common, may be severe, or cause dehydration or infection. At the first sign, call your doctor, start an antidiarrheal, and drink fluids. Before taking Verzenio, tell your doctor about any fever, chills, or other signs of infection. Verzenio may cause low white blood cell counts, which may cause serious infection that can lead to death. Life-threatening lung inflammation can occur. Tell your doctor about any new or worsening trouble breathing, cough, or chest pain. Serious liver problems can happen. Symptoms include fatigue, appetite loss, stomach pain, and bleeding or bruising. Blood clots that can lead to death have occurred. Tell your doctor if you have pain or swelling in your arms or legs, shortness of breath, chest pain, and rapid breathing or heart rate, or if you are nursing, pregnant, or plan to be.
Every day matters.
And I want more of them.
Ask your doctor about everyday Verzenio.
Your doctor gives you a prescription.
Let's get you on some antibiotics right away.
We could bring it right to your door with 1 to 2 day delivery from your local CVS. Or same day if you need it sooner.
you could also just swing by to pick it up and get your questions answered. Because peace of mind is something you just can't get in a cardboard box. That's how healthier happens together with CVS.
Isn't it great how swinging through Culver's drive-thru marks the unofficial start to family time? How biting into a hot-off-the-grill Butterburger makes worries melt away? And how a fresh frozen custard concrete mixer puts a smile on your face every time? Here, a meal you didn't have to make is a meal made fresh for you. And being greeted with a smile, even beneath a mask, makes all the difference.
There's a reason we put so much care into our food. That reason is you. Welcome to Delicious.
From installation, repairs, and maintenance to complete sewer and drain cleaning, visit MononaPFP.com.
Monona Plumbing and Fire Protection, a name you can trust when service is a must.
Cold winds, ice, snowy, slippery conditions. Be prepared for winter weather. Trust the News 3 Now First Warn Weather Team to give you clear, timely, and accurate info. So when severe winter weather is coming, you'll have plenty of time to plan your life, keeping you safe and ahead of the storms. Your certified most accurate team, First Warn Weather, only on News 3 Now.
Right now, over 30 people had to be rescued on Saturday after ice separated from the main shore near Green Bay.
And speaking about cold weather and ice, we're going to be talking more about it and how long it's going to stick around. The forecast coming up.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday, and thanks for joining us on News 3 Now. I'm McKenna Alexander. Let's go ahead and send over to Julian Seawright for a look at our forecast. Julian, the sun is up, but does that mean things are going to be warm?
That does not mean things are going to be warm. Actually, it's going to be the exact opposite. We're going to be looking at single digits throughout the day and even colder with those wind chills. But we're going to start with the surface map because this is what we're going to be looking at here. That cold front is going to be sweeping through, and behind it, we're looking at breezy conditions right behind that cold front, which are dropping temperatures into those single digits and even to the lower teens. And with those winds, we are also going to be seeing those wind chill values to be below zero throughout the course of the day once again. Now, we are looking at plenty of sunshine throughout our morning, and it's going to be like that throughout the day. But as you can see, temperatures are going to struggle to even get into the upper single digits and even into the teens for some areas. As we go into tonight, might see a bit of some light flurries start to roll in, but they'll be very isolated, not scattered at all for us as we're going in throughout the rest of our Sunday nights. Transitioning into our Monday morning, again, these are surface temperatures. Adding the wind into effect with it, we are going to be looking at wind chill values of very well below zero. So that's one thing to keep an eye on as you're getting yourself ready for the new work week. It's going to be chilly, folks, so make sure that you're bundling up. We're going to talk more about this coming up in a few moments. Till then, let's toss it back to you, McKenna.
All right, thanks, Julian. And before the alert day, make sure you have our First Warn Forecast weather app. It's free and available in the App Store. Dozens of people had to be rescued near Green Bay yesterday after being stranded on a large chunk of floating ice. Nick Harrington has the story.
It's not what Shane Nelson and Robert Verhagen expected.
Didn't catch any fish, ran out of propane early, and got stranded on the ice.
It was their first time ice fishing.
Sounded like almost somebody fired a gun out there. We thought it was interesting. We got out of our shanty, looked, and 2 hours later, here couple people yelling that the ice was separating.
Late Saturday morning, a piece of ice separated from the main shoreline on Green Bay, taking their gear with it. The Brown County Sheriff's Office first reported 27 people on the ice floe, then upped that number to 34 a few hours later.
I heard reports that the ice had drifted out approximately 2,000 feet from where they originally were. And our ice boat operators indicated that the ice had moved farther each trip that they went back for a rescue.
Lieutenant John Bain with the Sheriff's Office believes the ice fishermen were on the separated ice shove for an hour and a half. Adding the rescue took multiple trips. As for what might have caused the ice to break up,
a barge may have come through, and that may have disrupted the ice. So the disruption in the ice, along with the naturally occurring conditions, may have led to that. The current and the winds, things can change fast, and you're not always aware that they are changing.
A reminder, the bay isn't completely frozen over. It's why Bain says to be aware of conditions and having your cell phone on. And as for Nelson and Verhagen,
we do now, thankfully.
They were reunited with their gear.
Looking at coronavirus now, today is the last day to get a COVID test from the Madison School District. DHS gave them 15,000 tests, but they expire tomorrow. You can find a list of testing sites and pre-registration information. Just head to channel3000.com. Now to court coverage. We're learning that the man who bought Kyle Rittenhouse a rifle when he was only 17 has taken a plea deal. If a judge accepts the deal, Dominic Black will avoid criminal conviction. Black was charged with delivering a dangerous weapon to a minor, resulting in death. Under the agreement, Black would plead no contest to a pair of citations and pay a $2,000 fine. The trial of Chandler Halderson began this week with emotional testimony, interviews with police, and graphic photos of the deceased parents. But in case you missed what's been going on, here's what happened Friday inside a Dane County courthouse. 23-year-old Chandler Halderson is accused of killing both his parents. In this interview with police, detectives asked him to recount his version of events leading up to and after his parents supposedly left to go to their cabin in July. At the end of the review of Chandler's statements, the detectives cut to the chase and confronted him. They thought he was lying.
I think it's time we start talking about what happened to your parents. Like the truthful version. Okay. So we have like 20 pages of writing. We're going to start with a clean white piece of paper for you to start telling the truth. Okay. Because listen to me. This is the only chance you're going to have to tell us the truth.
Halderson denied being there when something happened to his parents and was eventually booked into jail. The trial continues tomorrow. We have a full breakdown of events and will be live streaming on our website. Despite growing calls for him to resign, a Minnesota sheriff again says he's staying in office. Hennepin County Sheriff Dave Hutchinson pleaded guilty to a drunk driving rollover crash in a county vehicle in early December. As Jennifer Merrill reports, 5 of Hennepin County's 7 commissioners now publicly say they want him out.
The calls for Sheriff Dave Hutchinson to resign came in one after the other. Hennepin County Commission Chair Marion Green tweeting in part, his actions and subsequent comments have eroded public confidence in his ability to serve. This week, a search warrant revealed Hutchinson denied being the driver of the rollover crash and told first responders a cab driver was behind the wheel. Commissioners Angela Conley, Chris Latondras, and Jeffrey Lundy joining the call for him to step down. It started on Wednesday with Commissioner Irene Fernando. She sent Hutchinson a letter and in a tweet called his actions egregious and comments since the crash unjustifiable. In her request for his resignation, she said she was appalled by his response to this question during our interview.
Before this crash, had you driven drunk before?
You know, I think everybody has at one point. I don't believe I've ever driven under the influence to the excess that happened December 8th.
He went on to say he's going through treatment and has given up drinking for good. Hutchinson told WCCO he can still lead the department, but county leaders now question that.
And people who want me to resign, I'm sorry, I'm not going to. I took an oath to protect and serve. I made a mistake. I have to move past that and heal as a human. But I'm ready to serve.
In a statement Friday, Sheriff Hutchinson said, quote, I am fully committed to continuing to serve the people of Hennepin County who elected me. I will let the citizens, not politicians, decide my future in November. The sheriff is an elected official. The only way Hutchinson could be forced out is through a recall process. In Hennepin County, Jennifer Merrily, WCCO 4 News.
The chairman of the January 6th committee appears to be steering clear of any subpoena for former Vice President Mike Pence. Jessica Snyder has more on the investigation.
After a day of remembrance on Capitol Hill, the January 6th Select Committee is back to work, and they say learning more about individuals conspiring to overturn the 2020 election results.
Individuals, including people in the inner circle of the Trump White House?
Oh, no question about it.
Committee Vice Chair Liz Cheney saying they are not ruling out the possibility of concluding the former president and his associates committed a crime.
For a president to, through either his action or his inaction, for example, attempt to impede or obstruct the counting of electoral votes, which is an official proceeding of Congress, the committee is looking at that.
Some Republicans have spoken out against Trump. Alaska Senator Lisa Murkowski calling the rioters a mob incited by our former president. But others are folding under pressure after Senator Ted Cruz said this on Wednesday.
And it is an anniversary of a violent terrorist attack on the Capitol.
He later apologized on Fox after host Tucker Carlson called it a lie.
The way I phrased things yesterday, it was sloppy and it was frankly dumb.
A year later, we are still learning new information about what happened that day. Then Vice President-elect and Senator Kamala Harris had been at the Capitol that morning.
I had left, but my thoughts immediately turned not only to my colleagues, but to my staff, who had been forced to seek refuge in our office, converting filing cabinets into barricades.
But she declined to comment on revelations that she was evacuated from the Democratic National Committee headquarters later that afternoon, 7 minutes after a pipe bomb was discovered nearby. While the FBI continues to search for the suspect, captured on video planting 2 pipe bombs the night before the attack, rioters continue to face their day in court and outspoken federal judges. Anthony Williams, who has pleaded not guilty, said in a Facebook message that storming the Capitol was the proudest day of his life. He had asked the court for permission to travel to Jamaica, but Chief Judge Beryl Howell rejected the request, writing, "This court will not commemorate the 1-year anniversary of this attack on the Capitol by granting defendant's request for non-essential foreign travel when he is awaiting judgment for his actions on that day."
A Trump-linked social media app called Truth Social is expected to launch in about a month and a half. It is backed by the former president's media company, the Trump Media and Technology Group. According to the service's listing on Apple's App Store, it will debut on February 21st. News of the planned launch comes roughly a year after major social media platforms suspended Trump following the Capitol attack. Still ahead, we've got some winter fun for you this weekend, the attractions that are now open coming up.
Hello, I'm Roman Ryan of Ryan Funeral Homes. As a locally owned and operated funeral home, it's important to know that not all funeral homes are the same. Some other Madison area funeral homes are actually owned by corporations based outside of the United States. A corporately owned funeral home is focused on the bottom line, making services more costly. We have served local families for more than 80 years, and our priority is investing in the community and your family. In your time of need, Ryan Funeral Homes are here for you.
One call, that's all.
مكتب محاماة جروبر، مكالمة واحدة، هذا كل شيء.
جروبر 律师馆，一个电话就够了。محامية جروبر، هالمر نسوع. Oficina Gruber Law, una llamada, nada más.
Ufficio degli avvocati Gruber, ci vuole solo una chiamata.
No matter how you say it, it's always one call, that's all.
How powerful is an Invisalign smile? So powerful, you can face anything, even these faces. Invis is a powerful thing. Invis is the clear aligner brand most trusted by doctors and more predictable. Invisalign.
At Vanguard, you're more than just an investor. You're an owner with access to financial advice, tools, and a personalized plan that helps you build a future for those you love. Vanguard. Become an owner.
Prepare to feel good in 2022. Join Planet Fitness now for zero enrollment, $10 a month, extended to January 14th. Enjoy tons of equipment in our clean clubs for zero enrollment.
Zero enrollment?
And $10 a month.
That makes me so happy.
You know what else will make you happy? Blowing off steam in our judgment-free zone.
It's all about the endorphins, baby. What's up?
It's this place, I tell you.
Amen, baby.
Feel Fit-tacular in 2022 for zero enrollment, $10 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends January 14th.
Had enough? No. Arthritis. Here. Aspirin arthritis. Huh. Full prescription strength. Reduces inflammation. Thank the gods. Don't thank them too soon.
Kick pain in the Aspirin.
I'm a little old to count down the days, but my ski trip to Cascade Mountain with my cousin each year, so much fun. We used to pretend like we were flying. Now, we really do. My dad and my uncle like that we still ski free. But Noah and I, we just have fun. See you there.
Reynolds Wrap makes this whole cooking and cleanup thing so easy. Speeds up this, so I can get to them.
Easy prep, cook, and clean with Reynolds Wrap.
Well, we all know it's going to be a cold one for today, but just how long is it going to be cold for? Well, you know, we have an alert day in the forecast for just that. Monday night into Tuesday morning is where we're going to be looking at low temperatures to be well below freezing, and those wind chills will be below zero as well, into the double digits below zero. And here's what we're looking at going into the overnight of tonight. Monday morning, just know, here's a quick look at what it's going to feel like outside. We're going to be looking at double digit and below zero conditions going into our Monday morning, and it's not going to be improving much at all as we transition into our Monday night into Tuesday morning. So make sure that you are prepared for some real cold conditions for us as we go on throughout the next 48 hours, actually. But tell them we're going to have more of a look in a few moments. Tell them. Back to you, McKenna.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest, Jillian, that forecast is kind of disgusting.
It's so disrespectfully cold. I'm not happy about it.
We're going to stay inside, Jillian and I, but if you decide to go outside, there's a brand new ice skating rink that's officially open in Beloit. The Beloit Sky Carp are returning the newly built ABC Supply Stadium into a public rink this winter. It will be open every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday through the end of February. Tickets are $6 per person, but children under the age of 2 skate for free. And if you're looking for a weekend trip, the ice castles in the Twin Cities are open for the season. The castles in New Brighton were closed last year during the pandemic. It features tunnels, caves, and slides all lit up in different colors. It took a team of 20 ice artists about 8 weeks to create all this. They're expected to last through early March. Up north, though, day 3 of snowfall in West Michigan has crews back out on the roads cleaning up for drivers. The Michigan Department of Transportation saying Saturday was the worst day this week for cleanup, with 16 plows tackling just I-94 alone.
Day 3 of snowfall in West Michigan has crews back out on the roads, cleaning up for drivers. The Michigan Department of Transportation says today has been the worst day this week for cleanup, with 16 plows tackling just I-94 this morning.
Our plow drivers have been so efficient and doing such a great job that folks are seeing black pavement and starting to increase their speeds. That's ice. That's not dry pavement.
MDOT spokesperson Nick Sharippa says some drivers are not taking winter weather precautions, leading to more crashes. He advises drivers to take it slow on the roadways as crews continue to work on cleanup.
Just because the snow stops doesn't mean we stop. We're not there yet. Our work will continue until we get it down to bare pavement.
Sharippa says MDOT is dealing with a shortage of plow drivers in West Michigan this winter.
Again, we haven't seen snowfall in massive amounts in all 7 counties on every road at the same time. We haven't had to contend with it. We've been okay.
Kalamazoo and Van Buren counties were hit the hardest. Indicator residents are digging themselves out. Snowfall reports more than 17 inches fell in the village.
Still ahead, the latest climate concerns and a scientist scrambling for a solution. And you're taking a live look over the Capitol. Julian's tracking your forecast just ahead.
Look Who's 3 is sponsored by Three Bears Resort, Indoor Water Park and Conference Center in Warrens, Wisconsin.
Pick and Save delivery is always fresh because we check our produce at every stop on its journey to you. We're fresh every day, so shop anyway. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
Dear Winter, I'm coming. My squad of 16 vehicles with all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive is ready to take you on. Safety's the name of my game, so you better bundle up. Toyota.
Right now, you can get 2.49% APR for 60 months on Toyota's most popular 2022 models. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things.
You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too, and that's why we did something about it.
We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers.
We're normal people just like you.
And together, we can make a difference.
Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Who's on it with Jardiance?
We're 25 million prescriptions strong.
We're managing type 2 diabetes and heart risk.
We're working up a sweat.
before coffee.
And saying no thanks to a Boston cream.
Jardiance is a once daily pill that can reduce the risk of cardiovascular death for adults who also have known heart disease. So it could help save your life from a heart attack or stroke. And Jardiance lowers A1C.
Jardiance can cause serious side effects, including dehydration, genital yeast or urinary tract infections, and sudden kidney problems. Ketoacidosis is a serious side effect that may be fatal. A rare but life-threatening bacterial infection in the skin of the perineum could occur. Stop taking Jardiance and call your doctor right away if you have symptoms of this bacterial infection, ketoacidosis, or an allergic reaction. And don't take it if you're on dialysis. Taking Jardiance with a sulfonylurea or insulin may cause low blood sugar.
Lower A1C and lower risk of a fatal heart attack?
We're on it. We're on it.
With Jardiance.
Ask your doctor about Jardiance.
At Pick and Save, you can get personalized coupons on top of weekly sales for prices that are lower than low on food that's fresher than fresh. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Good morning, everyone, and a beautiful sunrise for us on our Sunday morning. However, that does not mean that it's going to be any better than it was yesterday. It's actually going to be worse. We're in store for quite a chilly day for us here in southern Wisconsin. 16 degrees as of right now in Madison, and that temperature is just going to continue to fall as we continue throughout the rest of the morning. Northwestern winds at 12 miles per hour, bringing in a wind chill of 3 degrees. Now, here's the temperatures in southern Wisconsin. Now, we can see the discrepancies here. Single digits over into the west as the cold front is continuing to have a southeastern track. That's why we're looking at to those teens and even some 20-degree temperatures with 23 degrees in Janesville, and 6 degrees in Platteville. But we can also see in the last 24 hours, since that cold front has moved out or moved forward, we're looking at the differences of those temperatures, looking at much of a discrepancy from what it was just 24 hours ago. Wind speeds are still on the breezy side, and it's going to be breezy throughout the course of the day. We're looking at middle teens of winds that will going to be continuing throughout today, and it's going to bring our wind chills into quite bitter conditions. Well below zero, as we're about 12 degrees below zero in Platteville, 3 degrees in Madison, and 9 degrees in Janesville. And as we continue throughout the afternoon, we're not going to be seeing too much of an improvement, but it will be a slight improvement. But either way, it's going to be a cold day for us. Now, as we're planning out the day, temperatures are going to stick around into those single digits, especially as we go into the afternoon. So any warmth, which is going to be those middle teens, will be into the early part of the morning. As we get into the afternoon, it's going to be just into the lower teens, around 10 degrees for us. As that cold front, once again, is moving its way out, so that's where we're going to be leaving behind the colder temperatures. Now, how much longer are we going to be dealing with the cold temperatures? Well, it's definitely going to stick around throughout Sunday. Sunday night, we might see some flurries, but that's just going to be in some isolated areas. And then as we go into overnight, going into our Monday morning, it's going to be even more cold, folks. We're going to be looking at those conditions to stick into the cold side throughout the course of our Monday, which is why we have an alert day in the forecast from our Monday night into our Tuesday morning. Now, because we're looking at low temperatures to be well below zero, and in addition, with those wind chills, we are going to be very, very much so well below zero. And this is what we're looking at to see as we go into our Monday morning. 19 degrees below zero in Madison, and 23 and 20 degrees below zero for areas even to the northwest. It's going to be a cold one once again. But the three things we're going to need to know outside of how cold it's going to be, we're going to potentially see some flurries in some areas for tonight. Mostly dry conditions, but the bitter cold is going to return for today and is going to stick around until we get about Tuesday morning. So that's why we're going to be seeing for the next 10 days, temperatures are going to be very disrespectful here in Madison. And then as we go on throughout the rest of the middle part of the week, then it's finally going to be more nice winter for us. Into those middle 30s, bit of some respectable numbers for us, but until then, yeah, staying inside sounds pretty nice to me.
Staying inside where you're respected, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, thanks, Jillian. Well, the latest assessment of the once reliably frozen Arctic causing alarm among climate scientists, with worry those changes could ripple across the entire globe.
The scientists say the changes they're seeing in the Arctic are undeniable and alarming. Snow and sea ice are rapidly melting. The long-frozen tundra is growing green. And on the highest point of Greenland's ice sheet, rain was recorded for the first time last summer.
Should we be concerned? Absolutely.
Climate specialist Rick Toman helped write the annual Arctic Report Card, the 16th released by the U.S. government's National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration.
Even if some records weren't broken, we did have, in parts of the Arctic, the warmest fall 2020. The theme is really continued disruption in the Arctic.
Disruption, he says, to the lives of Arctic animals and people.
The changes have already occurred. They can't be undone in short order.
Even wildfires are scorching land that was once permanently frozen in Siberia, which the UN says hit a record high of around 100 degrees Fahrenheit in 2020.
The heat that we saw in Siberia in 2020 would have been almost impossible without climate change.
The report warns if we don't curb greenhouse gas emissions, the changes in the Arctic could unfold elsewhere, with melting ice and warming water raising sea levels and speeding up global warming. So what can we do?
We have to reduce very dramatically the amount of carbon dioxide that humans are causing to be put into the air. There's no doubt about that. It's late, but the best time to take action was 50 years ago, and the second best time is right now.
The sooner we act to protect the Arctic, he says, the more we can keep dramatic disruptions there from cascading to the rest of the planet. Roxana Saberi, CBS News, London.
Make News 3 part of your weekly routine by downloading the Channel 3000 app for the latest headlines and weather conditions 24/7. But first, a new spot in Dallas is the perfect place for living things that don't talk. I'll look inside the new Plant Lounge when we're back in a moment.
It's January clearance time at A1 Furniture with 10 to 40% off store-wide and tax included on any purchase over $4.99. Huge selection in stock for immediate pickup or delivery, plus 1 year free financing.
Madison's locally owned family furniture store.
My daughter has type 2 diabetes, and lately, I've seen this change in her.
Once-weekly Trulicity is proven to help lower A1C. It lowers blood sugar from the first dose, and you could lose up to 10 pounds. Trulicity is for type 2 diabetes. It isn't for people with type 1 diabetes. It's not approved for use in children. Don't take Trulicity if you're allergic to it. You or your family have medullary thyroid cancer or have multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2. Stop Trulicity and call your doctor right away if you have an allergic reaction, a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain, changes in vision, or diabetic retinopathy. Serious side effects may include pancreatitis. Taking Trulicity with sulfonylurea or insulin raises low blood sugar risk. Side effects include nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea, which can lead to dehydration and may worsen kidney problems. Ask your doctor about once-weekly Trulicity.
So here's what we won't do. We won't let self-doubt win again. Because together, we're working on something more real. Elbows in. With a Real Planet Coach for real 360 support. That's Anytime Fitness. That's Real AF.
We protect more than the car you drive. We protect the dreams that drive you. The It's Not Where We Visit, but Who We Visit policy from American Family Insurance.
End of the road trip.
Protect yourself on the road with a travel peace of mind package, included when you enroll in the Know Your Drive program. Get a quote or find an agent at amfam.com.
Reynolds Wrap makes this whole cooking and cleanup thing so easy. Speeds up this so I can get to them.
Easy Prep Cook and Clean with Reynolds Wrap.
It's Macy's one-day sale now with deals of the day, like up to 60% off coats for all and up to 65% off winter boots and shoes. Plus, get 70% off clearance fine jewelry and get your Macy's order faster when you pick up in-store or curbside.
Get the best deals on name brand mattresses only at A1 Furniture's January clearance event. Save 10 to 40% off and get tax included on any purchase over $4.99, plus 1 year free financing.
Madison's locally owned family furniture store.
Tonight at 10, when left without phone service for months.
The phone line was a steady hum.
A prominent Madison musician turned to our Call for Action team.
Things started to happen.
Leah Lynchide shows you how a call for action helped restore communication. Tonight at 10. Away from your TV? Not a problem. Get breaking news, weather alerts, and political coverage from the award-winning News 3 Now team. Plus, all things Madison. Stay connected anywhere with Channel 3000, Madison's #1 digital news source.
Finally, this morning, you may have noticed one online trend during the pandemic. Along with sharing pictures of pets, people are showing off their favorite houseplants too. Whether as a new hobby during downtime or a way to brighten up that work-from-home office, one study found almost 2/3 of Americans have added plants to their collection during the pandemic. And in Dallas, one plant-loving entrepreneur has come up with a whole new place to do just that. Rodney Hawkins has the story.
You can like push some of it back, you know, to get that view when you look at it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's all about the aesthetics.
Nature is on full display at the first ever plant lounge, owned and operated by Anthony Robinson.
And fill yours up, because if not, your plant's gonna be sunken down. Well, you got a cigar lounge, you got a hookah lounge, but there's no plant lounge.
And what is a plant lounge?
I mean, you can come in here and work, watch TV, listen to music, sit on the sofa. I just wanted to create an environment where you didn't feel that you had to come in, buy your plant, buy whatever you bought, and leave. I wanted people to be able to feel at home, welcome, and come in and just relax if they needed to.
Robinson opened Energy Gardens last spring after his plant sales exploded during the pandemic. The self-described plant artist creates elaborate terrariums and framed moss walls.
After the pandemic happened, all my markets shut down. I didn't know what I was gonna do. Deliver food for a few days. I was like, nah, you know, I can deliver plants. Went home, posted a few online. It went crazy. I said, this is what I'm gonna do. And it never stopped.
There's a fast-growing market for houseplants, with 37 million people gardening indoors in 2020, up from 33 million in 2019.
Everybody wants plants, and that's beautiful.
Is it just a fad?
No, it's not a fad, because you have plants, they won't expire. I mean, you have some of these plants for 20 and 30 years, you'll be passing them down to your family members.
And while this is Robinson's calling, it wasn't always his day job.
I had a job that I just really didn't like. I didn't like it. So, you know, instead of going to work sad on Monday and happy on Friday, doing that for the next 20 or 30 years, I said, well, let me plan out. Let me see what I need to do. Let me do the markets and do the different festivals for a year. Let me see if I can live off of that. And I had my corporate job, did that from 8 to 5, got off work, spent time with my kids, did my plant projects and things at night, and sold them on the weekends.
It took him more than 6 years to cultivate his plant side hustle into a brick-and-mortar business.
Voila.
In the trendy Dallas neighborhood called Deep Ellum. What do people say when they see you are out here selling plants and so invested in nature?
It's kind of normal now, but when I started, there was nobody in this industry that looked like me. Nobody. So I would go to my wholesale nurseries or wholesale places to buy pots. A lot of them thought I was an employee. As time has changed, I mean, I'm the guy. I'll be standing outside sometimes, people drive by, hey, Energy Gardens.
One of Robinson's loyal customers.
Oh, man. Hey, what's going on?
Is 32-year-old Jesse Washington.
Plants have become so popular during the pandemic. Did you buy a lot of yours during the pandemic?
Last year, I think I bought about two or three big ones. I bought a big snake plant, I bought a big ponytail palm, and the typewriter.
So you saying that out loud, did you think you were going to be this plant person that has 6 or 7 plants?
Nah, not originally, but you get compliments on them. Makes the space better, so he makes designs and the way he arranges them, the way he shoots them, they're always so fresh, like it makes you wanna get them.
Robinson's arrangements are so popular, he sells out sip and plant parties.
Today we're gonna build an arrangement with about 3 to 4 succulents.
He showed me how to make my own low-maintenance arrangement. It's an easy process that starts with potting soil.
Grab it, fill it all the way up to the top, and I'll help you.
I'm getting back to my kid's side, right?
Yeah.
Then come a few succulents.
Just grab it like that.
Oh, yeah. So we're gonna dust it off.
Yeah. You can knock off a little bit of the soil like so.
And last, but not least, a decorative layer.
Put a few of the rocks around. I'll let you do that side. But yeah, just put a few around there.
There we go.
2 shot glasses per plant.
Okay, because I was like, I don't even know what that means when you say 2 ounces.
2 shot glasses per plant every 3 to 4 weeks. Okay. And as far as light goes, indirect sunlight, or like LED light or fluorescent lights.
The results were something Robinson says everyone can do, even if you don't have a green thumb.
Well, you know, a lot of people think they can't keep plants alive. They say, well, I have a black thumb. I'm like, well, me too. I got 2 of them. I do just fine.
Have you seen it transform people's lives, especially now that so many people are working from home, to just have a few plants or that one plant you speak of?
Yeah. But when you have live plants, you get that visual and you get that feeling of that living energy. And that's what I sell. I sell plants, but I'm selling that feeling.
Robinson hopes to share this energy from the garden with everyone he can. For CBS Saturday Morning, Rodney Hawkins, Dallas, Texas.
Julian, I can't keep plants alive, and something's telling me I certainly cannot keep them alive in this weather.
Well, at least we'll have the sunlight, but no, not in this weather. It's going to be way too cold for it, especially for the next couple of days, folks. Make sure that you're staying warm and properly dressed for this weather because it is going to be bitterly cold for the next few days until Tuesday morning. Good news is we are going to be entering a pattern with a little bit more warmer temperatures midway through the week, but it's not going to see a whole lot of activity for us. We're going to be onto a dry pattern with a little bit of warmer temperatures, and warmer is used loosely here because we're still going to be around winter-like conditions with those 30s, but then back to seasonable for the following week. So yes, it's going to be seeing improvement, but until then, just know the alert days in the forecast from Monday night into Tuesday morning. McKenna.
All right, thanks for joining us this morning. We'll have more news tonight.